Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have C.H.U.E.C.O. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that right. It's actually an acronym for something in Spanish. That, well, it has to do with this guy right here. I'll get to that in a minute. This is a 2023 TV series out of Mexico. It is one season long. It's 13 episodes. Each of them are about a half an hour long. And it is a sitcom. It is very much it feels like it came out of the 1990s. But with much better production value. Because it's 2023. I'm sure that 2023 will look very dated 30 years later. So, but it has the kind of format you get the feeling like, let's just say Alf came to town. And I just realized that now it feels very much like it could be Alf. But there's no aliens involved. It's a chimpanzee. Again, I'll get to that. Imagine King of Queens, but Kevin James is kind of a burly single dad. By the way, ding, ding, ding. Falls into the Disney realm of things, and there's a dead parent. Every story seems to have a dead parent, unfortunately. So the trope is maintained even in other countries. This father is working three jobs. He's exhausted. He has a house. And he has three kids, and from like 8 to he's like a teenage, late teens, 2 sons and a daughter. And he's barely getting by. He doesn't have any money left to pay the bills or buy guitar strings for his daughter or new cleats for his son or anything else the little kid wants. He's almost out of money. Yet he has a servant named Amanda. Like, she's wearing at first I was like, oh, why is your wife wearing she's like, what's like a maid's outfit? I was like, what's going on? No, he has a servant who cooks and cleans. Okay, sure, I guess that's what people have when they have no money. I don't know. So he's barely squeaking by when suddenly somebody comes knocking at the door. Yes, I'm going to give away the premise of the show. Just so you know, giving away the premise of the show if you haven't already figured it out. So a woman comes knocking at the door. She has a briefcase. She looks very official. Looks like a bill collector or somebody who could really mess up their lives even further. Nope. She's here to tell him that he has inherited $9 million. Dollars. Yeah, I think so. Not pesos, dollars. Because 9 million is what, like $80? I don't know. It's a lot of money, especially at this very desperate moment. But under a certain number of conditions, 2 of them, I think it's paid out monthly, like a certain amount every month. It's not like he doesn't get everything up front, because the other 2 conditions are they have to take in his deceased uncle's pet, who was his best friend, named C.H.U.E.C.O. Turns out that pet is a chimpanzee, who is, in our perception of things, a puppet. It's a puppet. It's literally a puppet, like Alf was a puppet. He is entered into their family. There is one shot of him standing head to toe in the doorway, but that's just like probably an empty puppet body or a man or a child standing in an outfit. But he's not moving, so it's more than likely the first part. But everything else, he's behind a briefcase, or he's behind the couch, or he's sitting on the couch, and of course the person is puppeting him inside. Why is this significant? Why do they need to have a puppet to put a chimpanzee? Couldn't they maybe make him digital, or maybe it just I don't know, make him animated, or do something? Well, no. The reason why is they've got to keep C.H.U.E.C.O secret. And if you can't figure that out by now, because he's a puppet, well, here you go. His secret is he can talk. Yeah. Freaks everybody out. The whole house starts screaming. And, well, as a result, they come to grips with it, and they get his origin story. And as he tells it in a grainy black and white flashback about their uncle, the main character's uncle. And he was experimented on by the uncle and another guy, and eventually they changed him enough genetically that he was able to talk, because we share 99% of the genes with chimpanzees as humans, and there's just a little bit that is different, and they can't talk and we can. Something was changed, and yes, he is able to now talk, and the world would change. His uncle promised that that if suddenly if he could make a chimpanzee talk, then apes all around the world would be experimented on and made to talk, and things would just ruin their lives. And he swore never to let this secret go. Of course, his partner knows about it, and but this guy inherited. I didn't bring it up the names, but he inherited the chimpanzee. And there's the jokes every once in a while about, is he a monkey? Is he an ape? He's an ape. He's a chimpanzee. He has to promise to never tell C.H.U.E.C.O's secret. Well, that seems easy enough, but of course that's going to lead to much tension and comedy for the seasons to come, or episodes to come, if there's more than one season. Of course, the other scientist shows up at the door, and he has an ultimatum. He wants C.H.U.E.C.O for himself. What is Dad going to do? Is he going to turn the chimpanzee over for even more money right up front? Or is he going to keep the promise that he has agreed to that paid out monthly in smaller amounts? That is something that he agreed to, that his uncle's wishes. What's he going to do? Well, that's what you're going to do to watch to find out. It's just so you know, this is completely in Spanish. You will need to turn on the subtitles in order to watch it if you do not know Spanish, as I do not. I understand enough that if I wasn't looking at it, I could still kind of understand what was going on, but not enough for me to just fully be immersed in it. It's funny. It's got a lot of the big demonstrative faces and movements. He's a very comedic actor, the father, and everybody's got faces. Let's just say everybody's got faces, and they're all very physically into this story, and it's fun. It's entertaining. I think it would be for the whole family. It's not lascivious in any way. It's not like really adult or anything. It's kids and adults could enjoy it. It does have it seems like a laugh track, which if that turns you off, you might get annoying after a while to tell you that something was funny. Ha 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 ha, and then you laugh too because laughing was heard. That is completely up to you whether you agree with the laugh track. If it was shot in front of a studio audience, I'd be very surprised. Anyway, it's kind of, when aliens brought into the home, has to keep a secret. So yeah, it is Alf, basically. He's not an alien. He's a chimpanzee, but he's like an alien from another place, and big secrets have to be kept. And he has things to say, and he doesn't get along with the housekeeper, Amanda. I don't know why that's the only person's name I remembered, other than C.H.U.E.C.O. And they sort of rip on each other, and he has a fear of leopards because a leopard ate his mom. Oh, that'll do it, yeah. But the kids also bond with him because they also lost their mother, and there's an awe track that goes over that. So yeah, it's a little forced at times. So unless you really appreciate early 90s style comedy, Alpha's in the 80s, but still, if you really appreciate 80s, 90s style sitcoms that are completely in Spanish, and if you know Spanish, well, hey, that's all the better for you. I think you'd probably get into it a whole lot more than I did. It's not bad. It's just, it's not it's not for me. It's not my thing. It's okay. Not everything's for me. But yeah, if you're into trying to find a silly sitcom family kind of thing, a throwback, it has a nice throwback feel to it that's modernly made with a puppet monkey in the vein of Alf, well, this is for you. So that's all I got to say about that. Check it out if that's your thing. Let's pick tomorrow's episode. 120. I always click the wrong one. 120. Oh, man. I almost just missed having a short from 19, wow, pretty from the 40s. But instead, we have something that, well, we'll see. We'll talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it now. We'll talk about it tomorrow when we look at Iron Fist. Yep. The Netflix Marvel series that was not appreciated, let's just say. For reasons we'll get into tomorrow. Iron Fist is what we're watching next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.